Hey guys, it's VT, no camera today, but I wanted to update you guys with some thoughts I've had on the upcoming heroes in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wave. Notably, Maria and Nick are coming in the books, which is basically under a month away now, I think. Hopefully it's in the UK on time. And while some of these thoughts I have maybe do affect, how I see their power level, more importantly than that, it's kind of a playstyle thing and how you are going to play them. Something else I wanted to stress is that all three of these characters have a lot of moving parts, different cards with different parts of their kit that talk to other cards and parts of their kit, so it's actually quite hard to make any solid predictions here, at least compared to the average hero. But let's see how we go. But let's start with Shuri, who was just revealed and I just did a deep dive for. When I do deep dives, I go quite analytical, and sometimes it's easy to look at the small details and not realize the big picture. And I do point out that I think that there's a lot of flexibility. I do say, even though I point out the downsides of her alter ego ability, I still think it really has a lot of upsides. But I think I was still too harsh on it. I think the alter ego ability is good and better than I gave it credit for, especially with a combo which none of you guys pointed out to me. Not one person in the comments, not one person on Discord, not even anywhere. I'm disappointed in you guys, but maybe you guys watch me for the deep dives and you should be disappointed in me. But I was thinking about this, and I'm looking at this Azure Adana card and what kind of combos can we actually make happen if we plot out some realistic scenarios in the game. And if we look at the beads upgrade she has that lets you confuse an enemy, we start to see something amazing. So if we start the form in hero form as Black Panther, and we make a basic fall or attack, we can trigger the beads which remove a threat and confuse an enemy. Then we can go alter ego, and being able to confuse an enemy before you go alter ego, everyone who plays solo knows this very well, everyone who plays knows this really. It's just really good to have that confuse up. It's a lot safer for the main scheme, stops you losing the game a significant amount of the time, very, very powerful, and just having a status card is just efficient in general, so that's really quite useful. So go alter ego, your turn ends. The villain will do all their nasty stuff, but their scheme activation against you will be blocked. Then a new turn can begin. What do? Well, your beads are now in the discard pile, so you can use Azure Adana to put an identity-specific card from your discard pile into your deck, the beads in this case, and then Shuri can use her alter ego inventory ability to search her deck for a Panther upgrade and play it, reducing its cost, etc., etc. So you get the beads back into play. Then you can go back down to hero form, and you still got 6 cards in hand, and you can play out your turn however you like. Then the cycle can reset again. Shuri, who has this really good alter ego ability, is able to use that and her title card combined to just guarantee a confuse. It's so good. It's made better by the fact she has the genius trait. Moon Girl is insane. On the other turn, you can use Azure Adana to put Vibranium back in, which is just especially good for Moon Girl, and Ingenuity as well, obviously. It's really, really good. It's consistent, it's control, and it just synergizes really well with her. So this kind of loop here, I think is actually especially good, and I'm slightly annoyed I didn't realize it sooner. So overall, I'm a lot more positive in Shuri's power now, and still very positive on her fun. For Nick Fury, we got a new card revealed for him. It's Fury's Flying Car. I got to reveal it. Still incredibly happy about that. I love this card. It's got 5 wheels, one of them's for steering, and it makes Nick go aerial, which is insane and its own kind of boost. But I want to focus here on the fact that Fury's Flying Car readies Nick Fury. If you've not seen my video, I talk about this in quite some depth in the real video. I will link it somewhere below. But I want to focus on what this means for Nick Fury overall here. Getting this ready is so consistent. He's got 2 fort, 2 attack, 2 defense. And if you know how Captain America feels by readying him up, how flexible he can be, this is very similar. If you played Magneto recently with his cape, which also lets him go aerial, by the way, you know how good this readying up can be, especially with stat boost. But just in general, the ability to ready up kind of means you are ready for anything every turn. Now, it does cost 1 threat here to ready up, but that is a lot less commitment than Captain America discarding a card to ready. But also, he's going to have, I think, roughly like 2 to 5 threat generation per turn, depending on how the cards play out and how you choose to play them. He's almost always, he's going to be hard not to have 1 threat available for this, if that's what you need on any given turn. So while I think in terms of power, it may have raised his ceiling, even more than that, I think it's raised its floor. Getting this flying car out means you are going to be able to deal with almost anything to some good level of consistency, and it goes better than that because you can get this car really easy. I talk about Leo Fits and build support in the reveal video for it, how Leo Fits can search for the car from your deck, build support can yoink it from anywhere. But in Shuri's reveal, we got Manifold, and Manifold lets you find a player side scheme. So to give a comparison, back in the day, you'd play Ant-Man, you'd really want Ant-Man's helmet, but it was just one card in your 40 card deck, and sometimes it ended up at the bottom. Now, player side teams have already helped Ant-Man, but Nick Fury is releasing in a world where if his car is buried on the bottom of his deck, he could instead find Leo Fitz, he can instead find Build Support, or if he's in Justice after Shuri is out, he could now find Manifold, and all of those would potentially lead to a turn 1 flying car, or oh no, a turn 2 flying car. It's such a luxury, and it's gonna be so good, and I'm really very positive on that overall. So Nick Fury, I think of all my hero previews in terms of power, I ranked him the lowest, and it wasn't like, oh, he's bad or anything. But I have to be honest about it, and I don't think I even put him in a bad spot anyway. But I just think he's actually moved up a little bit in that regard. And of course, Reddies are fun, and going aerial is fun. I haven't even talked about that in this video. I do in the reveal, so check it out. It's good. It's really good for Nick. And the final character to talk about, and it's going to be the shortest talk as well, is going to be Maria Hill. So Nelson revealed 2 cards for her recently, and one of them has 2 copies, and I'm not going to put them on here because I don't want to take any views away from him. He's only just revealed them yesterday, but I want to talk about the implications of them. Quite slow tempo, or expensive to start with. So everything is just pointing to Maria being slower than my original deep dive had said, but I still think she's going to be perfectly viable, and especially in multiplayer where you can, have people cover for you as you build up and support them with all her amazing tricks. What she has here with one of the new cards revealed, the one that has 2 copies, is it rewards you for going wide with supports. And it'd be interesting to see how it balances out, how much it's worth it, but it definitely adds a lot more credit and substance to the idea of having lots of smaller supports out for Maria Hill. So I'm excited to try that even more now. So overall on these characters, in terms of fun, I think they've all increased. This card that Maria Hill has that I'm being a bit vague about, go check out Nelson's video after this. It's really very interesting and very flexible. Nick Fury's car is a flying car. Need not explain how that makes it more fun. And Shuri, I don't know if I think she's any more fun than I already thought, but I don't know if I conveyed how fun I thought she was going to be anyway. So really positive. I'm so hyped for these characters. Fingers crossed that I'm not disappointed. Now, I got a little bit burned by a couple of hero packs in the last wave, for my personal taste at least, my personal experience and how they played out. But I do have a really good feeling here. There's so many good points here, it's hard for me to see it going wrong. So yeah, this could be a golden era in Marvel Champions. Am I crazy? Am I riding the hype train? Or is this genuinely going to be an amazing expansion? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about these characters and what I've said here. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. It all really helps the channel. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.